registered upon our brazen tombs to make us heirs of all eternity. Therefore, brave conquerors, for so you are, that war against your own affections, the huge army of all the world's desires, our late edict shall strongly stand in force. Navarre shall be the wonder of the world. Our court shall be a little academe, still and contemplative in living art. You two before me, Barone and Longaville, have sworn for 3 years' term to live with me, my fellow scholars, and to keep those statutes that are recorded in this schedule here. Your oaths are passed. Now subscribe your names, that his own hand may strike his honor down that violates the smallest branch herein.
I am resolved. 'Tis but a 3 years fast. The mind shall banquet, though the body pine.
So much, dear liege, I have already sworn, that is, to live and study here 3 years. But there are other strict observances, as not to see a woman in that term, which I hope well is not enrolled there, and 1 day in a week to touch no food, and but 1 meal on every day beside, the which I hope is not enrolled there, and then to sleep but 3 hours in the night, and not be seen to wink of all the day, which I hope well is not enrolled there. Oh, these are barren tasks, too hard to keep, not to see ladies study fast, not sleep.
Your oath is fast to pass away from these.
Let me say no, my liege. Anything, please. I only swore to study with your grace and stay here in your court for 3 years' space.
You swore to that, Barone, and to the rest.
By yea and nay, sir. Then I swore in jest. What is the end of studying? Let me know.
Why, not to know which else we should not know.
Things hid and barred, you mean, from common sense.
Aye, that is study's godlike recompense.
Come on, then. I will swear to study so, to know the thing I am forbid to know. As thus, to study where I well may dine, when I to feast expressly am forbid, or study where to meet some mistress fine, when mistresses from common sense are hid, or having sworn too hard a keeping oath, study to break it, and not break my troth. If study's gain be thus and this be so, study knows that which yet it doth not know. Swear me to this, and I'll ne'er say no.
These be the stops that hinder study quite, and train our intellects to vain delight.
Quite all delights are vain, but that most vain which with pain purchased doth inherit pain, as painfully to pore upon a book to seek the light of truth, while truth the while doth falsely blind the eyesight of his look. Study is like the heaven's glorious sun, that will not be deep searched with saucy looks. Small have continual plotters ever one, save base authority from others' books.
How well he's read to reason against reading. Barone is like an envious sneaping frost that bites the firstborn infants of the spring.
Well, say I am! Why should proud summer boast before the birds have any cause to sing? So you, to study now, it is too late. Climb o'er the house to unlock the little gate.
We'll sit you out. Go home, Barone. Adieu.
No, my good lord. I have sworn to stay with you. And though I have for barbarism spoke more than for that angel knowledge, you can say. Yet confident, I'll keep what I have swore, and by the penance of each 3 years' day, give me the paper, let me read the same, and to the strictest decrees, I'll write my name.
Oh, well, this yielding rescues thee from shame.
Item, that no woman shall come within a mile of my court. Hath this been proclaimed?
4 days ago.
Let's see the penalty. On pain of losing her tongue. Who devised this penalty?
Mary, that did I.
Sweet Lord, and why?
To frighten hence with that dread penalty.
A dangerous law against gentility. Item, if any man be seen to talk with a woman within the term of 3 years, he shall endure such public shame as the rest of the court can possibly devise. This article, my liege, yourself must break. For well you know, here comes an embassy, the French king's daughter with yourself to speak, a maid of grace and complete majesty, about surrender up of Aquitaine to her decrepit, sick, and bedrid father. Therefore, this article is made in vain, or vainly comes the admired princess hither.
We must of force dispense with this decree. She was lie here in mere necessity.
Necessity will make us all forsworn 3,000 times within this 3-year space. If I break faith, this word shall speak for me. I am forsworn on mere necessity. So, to the laws at large, I write my name. And he that breaks them in the least degree stands in attainder of eternal shame. Suggestions are to other asked. But I believe, although I seem so loath, I am the last that will last keep his oath. But is there no quick recreation granted?
Aye, that there is. Our court, you know, is haunted with a refined traveller of Spain, a man in all the world's new fashion planted, that hath a mint of phrases in his brain. This child of fancy, that our motto height, for interim to our studies shall relate, in high-born words, the worth of many a knight from tawny Spain, lost in the world's debate. How you delight, my lords? I know not I, but I protest, I love to hear him lie, and will use him for my minstrelsy.
Our motto is a most illustrious wight, a man of fire new words, fashion's own knight.
Costar the swain, and he shall be our sport, and so to study 3 years is but short.
Which is the Duke's own person. This fellow, what wouldst? I myself represent his own person, for I am his Grace's Starborough, that I would see him in flesh and blood. This is he, Signor Arme, Commensio. There's villainy abroad. This letter will tell you more.
Sir, the contempts thereof are as touching me.
A letter from the magnificent Armado.
How low soever the matter, I hope in God for high words.
A high hope for a low heaven, God grant us patience.
To hear or forbear laughing.
To hear meekly, sir, and to laugh moderately, or to forbear both.
The matter is to me, sir, as concerning Jacanetta. The manner of it is, I was taken with the manner.
In what manner?
In manner and form following, sir, all of those three. I was seen with her in the manor house, sitting with her upon the form, and following her into the park. Now, sir, for the manner. It is the manner of a man to speak to a woman. For the form, in some form.
For the following, sir,
As it shall follow in my correction, and God defend the right.
Will you hear this letter of attention?
as we would hear an oracle.
Such is the simplicity of man to hearken after the flesh.
Great deputy, the Welkin's vicegerent and sole dominator of the bar, my soul's earth's god and body's fostering patron.
Not a word of custard yet.
So it is.
It may be so, but if you say it is so, he is in telling true, but so.
Peace.
Speak to me and every man that dares not to fight.
No words.
Of other men's secrets I beseech you.
So it is, besieged with sable-colored melancholy, I did commend the black oppressing humor to the most wholesome physic of thy health-giving air, and, as I am a gentleman, betook myself to walk. The time when, about the 6th hour, when men sit down for that nourishment which is called supper. Then for the place where I did encounter that obscene and preposterous event, by east from the west corner of thy curious knotted garden, there I did see that low-spirited swain, that base minnow of thy mirth,
Me,
that unlettered, small-knowing soul,
me,
that shallow vessel,
still me.
which, as I remember, might costard.
How? Me.
Sorted and consorted contrary to thy established proclaimed edict and continent canon, which with, oh with,
A wench.
with a child of our grandmother Eve, a female, or for thy more sweet understanding, a woman. Him I, as my ever-esteemed duty pricks me on, have sent to thee to receive the meed of punishment by thy sweet grace's officer, Anthony Dole, a man of good repute, carriage, bearing, and estimation.
Me, and it shall please you, I am Anthony Dole.
For Jacanetta, so is the weaker vessel called, which I apprehended with the aforesaid swain. I keep her as a vessel of the law's fury, and shall at the very least of thy sweet notice bring her to trial. Thine in all compliments of devoted and heart-burning heat of duty, Don Adriano de Armada.
This is not so well as I looked for, but the best that ever I heard.
I'm the best for the worst. But Cyril, what say you to this?
Sir, I confess the wench.
Did you hear the proclamation?
I do confess much of the hearing of it, but little of the marking of it.
It was proclaimed a year's imprisonment to be taken with a wench.
I was taken with none, sir. I was taken with the damsels.
Well, it was proclaimed damsel.
This was no damsel neither, sir. She was a virgin.
Ah, it is so very too, for it was proclaimed virgin.
If it were, I deny her virginity. I was taken with the maid.
This maid will not serve your turn, sir.
This maid will serve my turn, sir.
Sir, I will pronounce your sentence. You shall fast a week with bran and water.
I had rather pray a month with mutton and porridge.
And Don Armado shall be your keeper. My Lord Barone, seem delivered o'er. And go we, Lord, to put into practice such each to other as so strongly sworn.
I'll lay my head to any good man's hat. These oaths and laws will prove an idle scorn. Sirach, come on.
I suffer for the truth, sir. For true it is, I was taken with Jacanetta, and Jacanetta is a true girl. And therefore welcome the sour cup of prosperity.
what sign is it for a man of great spirit? Where's melancholy?
A great sign, sir, that he will look sad.
Why, sadness is one and the self-same thing, dear.
No. Oh, Lord, sir, no.
How canst thou part sadness with melancholy, my tender juvenile?
By familiar demonstration of the working, my tough senor.
Why, tough senor? ¿Por qué? Why, tough senor?
Why, tender juvenile? Why, tender juvenile?
I spoke it, tender juvenile, as a congruent epitheton appertaining to thy young days, which we may nominate tender.
And I, tough senor, as an impertinent title to your old time, which we may name tough.
Pretty and apt.
How mean you, sir? I pretty, am I saying apt, or I apt, am I saying pretty?
Thou pretty, because little.
Little pretty, because little. Wherefore apt?
And therefore apt, because quick in answers. Thou heatest my blood.
I am answered, sir.
I love not to be crossed.
He speaks the mere contrary. Crosses love not him.
I have promised to study 3 years with the Duke.
You may do it in an hour, sir.
Impossible! I'll hereupon confess. I am in love. And as it is base for a soldier to love, so am I in love with the base wench. I think scorn to sigh. Methinks I should answer Cupid. Comfort me, boy. What great men have been in love.
Hercules, master.
Most sweet Hercules, more authority to your board, nay more, and let them be men of good repute and carriage.
Samson, master. He was a man of good carriage, great carriage, for he carried the town gates on his back like a porter, and he was in love.
Oh, well knit Samson, strong jointed Samson. I do excel thee, my Richter, as much as thou didst me. In carrying gates, I am in love too. Who is Samson's love, my dear one?
A woman, master.
What complexion?
Of all the four, or the three, or the two, or one of the four.
Tell me precisely what complexion.
Of the Seawater Green, sir.
Is that one of the 4 complexions?
As I've read, sir, and the best of them too.
Green indeed, is the color of lovers. My love is most immaculate. White and red.
Most immaculate thoughts, master, are masked under such colors.
Define, my educated infant. Here's my young Paul.
She be made of white and red, her faults may never be known. For blushing cheeks by faults are bred, and fear by pale like shown. A dangerous crime, master, against the reason of white and red.
I'll have the subject newly returned, that I may example my digression by some mighty precedent. Boy, I do love that country girl that I took in the park with the rational night costume. She deserves well.
To be wit. And yet a better love than my master.
Sing, boy. My spirit grows heavy in love.
And that's great marvel, loving the light, wench.
I say sing!
Forbear to this company be best.
Sir, the Duke's pleasure is that you keep Costard safe, and must suffer him to take no delight, nor no penance, but a must fast 3 days a week. As for the damsel, I must keep her in the park. She is allowed for the day woman. Fare you well.
I do retrain myself with blushing. Maid,
Man.
I'll visit thee at the lodge.
That's your bud.
I know where it is situated.
Lord, how wise you are.
I will tell thee wonders.
With that face,
I love thee.
so I've heard you say.
And so, farewell.
Fair weather after you.
Come, Jack Netta, away.
Villain! Thou shalt fast for thy offenses ere thou be pardoned.
Well, sir, I hope when I do it, I shall do it on a full start.
Thou shalt be heavily punished.
I am more bound to you than your fellows, for they are but lightly rewarded.
Take away this villain! Shut him up!
Come, you transgressing slave! Away!
Let me not be penned up, sir. I will pass being loose.
No, sir, that were fast and loose. Thou shalt to prison.
And to affect the very ground, which is base, with her shoe, which is base here, guarded by her foot, which is basis, not tread. Animal schloss, yes. I shall be forsworn, which is a great argument to falsehood. If I love, love is a familiar. Love is a devil! There is no evil angel but love. Yet the Samsons are tempted, and he had an excellent strength. Cupid's butt is too hard for Hercules' club, and therefore too much odds for a Spaniard's victor. His disgrace is to be called boy, but his glory is to subdue men. And do valor. Rust, Rapier. Be still, Brown, for your manager is in love. Yea, he loveth. Assist me, some extemporal God of Brown, for I am sure I shall do in sonnet. Devise with right pen, try, and for whole volumes and folio.
God bless my ladies! Are they all in everyone her own hath garnished it with such betacking ornaments of praise.
Here comes Wyeth.
Now, what admittance, Lord?
Navarre had notice of your fair approach, and he and his competitors in oath were all addressed to meet you, gentle lady, before I came. Mary, thus much I have learnt. He rather means to lodge you in the field, like one that comes here to besiege his court, then seek a dispensation for his oath to let you enter his unpeopled house. Here comes Navarre.
Fair princess, welcome to the court of Navarre.
There, I give you back again. And welcome I have not yet. The roof of this court is too high to be yours, and welcome to the wide fields too base to be mine.
You shall be welcome, madam, to my court.
I will be welcome, then conduct me thither.
Hear me, dear lady, sworn in oath.
Our Lady, help my lord, he'll be forsworn.
Not for the world, fair madam, by my will.
My will shall break it, will and nothing else.
Your ladyship is ignorant what it is.
Were my lord so, his ignorance were wise, where now his knowledge must prove ignorance. I hear your grace hath sworn out housekeeping. 'Tis deadly sin to keep that oath, my lord, and sin to break it. But pardon me, I am too sudden bold. To teach a teacher ill beseemeth me. Vouchsafe to read the purpose of my coming, and suddenly resolve me in my suit.
Madam, I will, if suddenly I may.
You will the sooner that I roar away, for you prove perjured if you make me stay.
Did not I dance with you in Brabant once?
Did not I dance with you in Brabant once?
I know you did.
How needless was it then to ask the question?
You must not be so quick.
'Tis long of you to spur me with such questions.
Your wit's too hot, its speed's too fast. 'Twill tire.
Not till it leave the rider in the mire.
What time of day?
The hour that fools should ask.
Now fair befall your mask,
Fair all the face it covers.
and send you many lovers.
Amen. So you need none.
Nay, then will I be gone.
Madam, your father here doth intimate the payment of 100,000 crowns, but as yet remains unpaid 100,000 more, in surety of which one part of Aquitaine is bound to us. If then the king, your father, will restore but that one half which is unsatisfied, we will give up our right in Aquitaine and hold fair friendship with his majesty. But here he doth demand to have repaid it. Dear princess, were not his demands so far from reason's yielding, your fair self should make a yielding against reason in my breast and go well satisfied to France again.
You do the king my father too much wrong, and wrong the reputation of your name, in so unseeming to confess receipt of that which hath so faithfully been paid.
I do protest, I never heard of it. If you prove it, I'll repay it back, or yield up Aquitaine.
We arrest your word, or yet you can produce acquittances for such a sum from special officers of Charles, his father.
Tomorrow you shall have a sight of them.
It shall suffice me. In the meantime, receive such welcome at my hand. You may not come, dear princess, in my gates, but here without you shall be so well received, as you shall deem yourself watched in my heart. And though denied fair harbor in my house, tomorrow shall we visit you again.
Sweet health and fair desires consort your grace.
My own wish to show thee in every place.
Lady, I will commend you to mine own heart.
Pray you, do my commendations. I would be glad to see it.
I would you heard it groan.
Is the fool sick?
Sick at the heart.
Black. Let it blood.
Would that do good?
My physics is I.
Will you prick it with your eye?
No point.
save thy life.
And yours for long living.
I cannot stay Thanksgiving.
I beseech you a word. What is she in the white?
A woman. And you saw her in the light.
Perchance light in the light. I desire her name.
She hath but one for herself. To desire that were shame.
Pray you, sir, whose daughter?
Her mother's I have heard.
God's blessing over here!
Sir, be not offended. She is an heir of Falconbridge.
She is a most sweet lady.
Not unlike so that may be. Psst. Psst.
What's her name in the cap?
Rosaline by Kodak.
Is she wedded or no?
To her will, sir, or so.
You are welcome, sir, and you.
Farewell to me, sir, and welcome to you.
That last is Barone, the merry madcap lord. Not a word with him, but a jest.
And every jest but a word.
It was well done of you to take him at his word.
I was as willing to grapple as he was to board.
Two hot sheeps, Mary.
And wherefore not ships? No sheep, sweet lamb, unless we feed on your lips.
Your sheep and I pasture. Shall that finish the jest?
So you grant pasture for me.
Not so, gentle beast. My lips are no common, though several they be.
Belonging to whom?
To my fortunes and me.
Good wits will be jangling, but gentles, agree. This civil war of wits were much better used on Navarre and his bookmen, for here 'tis abused. If my observation, which very seldom lies, by the heart still rhetoric disclosed with eyes, deceive me not now, Navarre is infected.
With what?
With that which we lovers entitle affective.
Your reason?
Why, all his behaviors did make their retire to the court of his eye, peeping the road desire, his tongue all impatient to speak, and not see, did stumble with haste his eyesight to be. All sense that sense did make their pair to feel unlooking on the fairest of fair. I'll give you Aquitaine and all that is his, and you give him for my sake, but one loving kiss.
Come to our pavilion, boy, it is disposed.
But to speak that in words which his eye hath disclosed.
Thou art an old love-monger and speakest skillfully.
Do you hear my mad wenches?
No.
What then do you see?
I our way to be gone.
You are too hard for me.
Caballo de pasatiempo? Callest thou my love hobby horse?
No, master. The hobby horse is but a colt, and your love, perhaps a hackney. But have you forgot your love?
Almost I had.
Negligent student, learn her by heart.
By heart and in heart, boy.
And out of heart, master. All these three I will prove.
What will I prove?
A man, if I live, by heart you love her, because your heart cannot come by her. In heart you love her, because your heart is in love with her. And out of heart you love her, being out of heart, that you cannot enjoy her.
I am on these three.
And 3 times as much more, and yet nothing at all.
But hither a swain, he must carry me a letter.
A message well sympathized, a horse to be ambassador for an ass.
Ha! What sayest thou?
Marry, sir, you must send the ass upon the horse, for he's very slow-gated. But I go.
Most acute, juvenile, voluble, free of grace, by thy favor, sweet token, and a sigh in thy face,
Most rude melancholy, valor gives thee place. I herald his return.
No wonder, master, here is a costard broken in a shin.
Some enigma, some riddle. Come, my l'enfant, begin.
No enigma, no riddle, no l'envoi. Oh, sir, plantain. A plain plantain. No l'envoi, no l'envoi. No solve, sir, but a plantain.
by virtue thou enforcest
Laughter. Ha ha! Does the inconsiderate take salve?
for l'envoi, and the word l'envoi for salve.
Do the wise think the mother? Is not Le Bois a salve?
No, page. It is an epilogue.
or discourse, to make plain some obscure precedence that hath tofore been saying. Come hither, come hither! How did this argument begin?
By saying that a costard was broken in a shin, and then called you for the Le Bois.
True, and I for a plantain. Thus came your argument in.
But tell me, how was there a costard broken in a shin?
I will tell you sensibly.
Thou hast no feeling of it, Ma. I will speak that l'envoi. I cast out, running out, that was safely within. Fell over the threshold and broke my shin.
We will talk no more of this matter.
Till there be more matter in the shin.
Sirrah costard, I will enfranchise thee.
Oh, marry me to one Francis. I smell some l'envoi in this.
My sweet soul, I mean, setting thee at liberty, and free to make that person, thou wert a mere restrained, captivated, bound.
True, true. And now you'll be my purgation and let me loose?
I give thee thy liberty, set thee from durance, and in lieu thereof, impose on thee nothing but this. Bear this significant. To the country maid, Jack There is remuneration. To the best board in mine honor is rewarding my penance. Hello.
Like the sequel line, Signor Costard, adieu.
My sweet ounce of man's flesh. I will look to his remuneration. Remuneration? Oh, that's the Latin word for 3 farthings. 3 farthings. Remuneration. What's the price of this inkle? 1 penny? No! I'll give you remuneration!
well met.
Pray, sir, how much carnation ribbon may men buy for a remuneration?
What is a remuneration?
Marry, sir, halfpenny farthing.
Why then 3 farthing worth of silk?
Thank you, worship. God be with you.
Stay, slave, I must employ thee.
When would you have it done, sir?
This afternoon.
Well done, sir. Very well.
Thou knowest not what it is.
I shall know, sir, when I have done it.
Why, villain, thou must know first.
I will come to your worship tomorrow morning.
It must be done this afternoon. Hark, slave. It is but this. The princess comes to hunt here in the park, and in her train there is a gentle lady. And Rosaline, they call her. Ask for her, and to her white hand see thou do commend this sealed up counsel. There's thy guerdon. Go.
Gordon! Oh, sweet Gordon! Better than remuneration. 11 pence farthing better. Oh, most sweet Gordon! I will do it, sir. In print, Gordon! Remuneration!
And I, forsooth, in love. I, that have been love's whip, a critic, nay, a pedant o'er the boy. This whip-pulled, whining, purblind, wayward boy, this senior, junior, giant, dwarf, Dan Cupid, regent of love rhymes, lord of folded arms, the anointed sovereign of sighs and groans, dread prince of plackets, king of codpieces. Oh, my little heart, what I love, I sue, I seek a wife, and I to sigh for her, to watch for her, to pray for her. Go to! It is a plague that Cupid will impose for my neglect of his almighty dreadful little mite. Well, I will love, write, sigh, pray, sue, and groan. Some men must love my lady, and some Joan.
Was that the king that spurred his horse so hard against the steep uprising of the hill?
I know not, but I think it was not he.
Whoever he was, he showed a mounting mind. Well, lords, today we shall have our dispatch. On Saturday, we will return to France. Then, Forester, my friend, where is the bush that we must stand and play the murderer in?
Hereby, upon the edge of yonder coppice, a stand where you may make the fairest shoot.
I think, my beauty, I am fair that shoot, and thereupon thou speakst the fairest shoot.
Pardon me, madam, for I meant not so.
What? First praise me, and again say no? Oh, short-lived pride! Not fair, alack for woe.
Yes, madam, fair, but...
Nay, never paint me now, where fair is not, praise cannot mend the brow. Here, good my glass, take this for telling true. Fair payment for foul words is more than due.
Nothing but fair is that which you inherit.
See, my beauty will be saved by merit. But come, the bow. Now mercy goes to kill,
and shooting well is then accounted ill. Thus will I save my credit in the shoot, not wounding, pity would not let me do it. As I for praise alone now seek to spill the poor dear's blood, that my heart means no ill.
Do not cursed wives hold that self-sovereignty only for praise sake, when they strive to be lords over their lords?
Only for praise, and praise we may afford to any lady that subdues a lord.
Here comes a member of the Commonwealth.
God dig you down. Pray you, which is the head lady?
Thou shalt know her, fellow, by the rest that have no heads.
Which is the greatest lady? The highest?
The thickest and the tallest.
The thickest and the tallest. It is so. Truth is truth. And your waist, mistress, were as slender as my witch. One of these maids' girdles for your waist should be fetched. Are not you the chief woman? You are the thickest here.
What's your will, sir? What's your will?
I have a letter from Monsieur Brown to one Lady Rosaline.
Oh, thy letter. He's a good friend of mine. Stand aside, good bearer. Boyette, you can carve. Break up this cabin.
I am bound to serve. This letter is mistook. It's important not here. It is writ to Jacanetta.
We will read it, I swear. Break the neck of the wax, and everyone, give ear.
By heaven that thou art fair is most infallible. More fair than fair, beautiful than beauteous, truer than truth itself. The magnanimous and most illustrate King Cophetua set eye upon the pernicious and indubitate beggars in Levallois. And he it was that might rightly say, Veni, vidi, vici. He came, saw, and overcame. The conclusion is victory. The catastrophe is natural. I am the king, for so stands the comparison, thou the beggar. Shall I command thy love? I may. Shall I enforce thy love? I could. Shall I entreat thy love? I will. What shalt thou exchange for rags, robes, for tittles, titles, for thyself, me? Thus, expecting thy reply, I profane my lips on thy foot, my eyes on thy picture, in my heart on thy every part. Thine the dearest design of industry, Don Adriano de Armado. Thus dost thou hear the Nemean lion roar against thee, thou land that standest as his prey.
What plume of feathers is he that indited this letter? What vane, what weathercock? Did you ever hear better?
This Armado is a Spaniard that keeps your court. A phantaseme, a monarcho, and one that makes sport to the prince and his bookmates.
Thou fellow, a word. Who gave thee this letter?
I told you, my lord.
To whom shouldst thou give it?
From my lord to my lady.
From which lord to which lady?
From my lord Verone, a good master of mine, to a lady of France that he called Rosaline.
Thou hast mistaken his letter. Come, lords, away. Here, sweet, put up this. 'Twill be thine another day.
Who is the suitor? Who is the suitor?
Shall I teach you to know?
I, my continent of beauty.
Why, she that bears the bow, finely put off.
My lady goes to kill horns, but if thou marry, hang me by the neck if horns that ye miscarry. Finally put on.
Well, then I am the shooter.
And who is your dear?
If we choose, by the horns, yourself. Come not near. Finally, put on, indeed.
You still wrangle with her, Boyette, and she strikes
the brow. But she herself is hit lower. If I get her now, thou canst not hit it, hit it, hit it. Thou canst not hit it, my good man. And I cannot. And I cannot. Another can.
By my troth, most blessed help, both did hit it.
A mark marvelous well shot, for they both did hit it.
A mark, oh mark with that mark. A mark, says my lady. Let that mark have a prick in it to me, Tata, if it may be.
Why of the bow hand? In faith that your hand is out.
Indeed, I must shoot near or he'll ne'er hit the cloud.
And if my hand be out, then be like your hand is in.
Then will she get to the upshoot by cleaving the pin.
Come, you've talked greasily. Your lips grow foul.
She's too hard for you, prick, sir. Challenge her to bowl.
I fear too much rubbing. Good night, my good owl.
By my soul swain, a most simple clown. Lord, how the ladies and I have brought him down. Armada on the one side, oh, what a dainty man, to see him walk before a lady, and to bear her fan. And his page on the other side, oh, that handful of wit. Ah, heavens, it's a most pathetical nit. So long, so long.
And such barren plants are set before us that we thankful should be, which we of taste and feeling are, for those parts that do fructify in us more than he.
You two are boatmen. Can you tell me by your wit what was a month old at Cain's birth that is not 5 weeks old as yet? Dick Mademoiselle Dictina. What is Dictina? A title to Phoebe, to Luna, to the moon. The moon was a month old when Adam was no more, and wrought not to 5 weeks when he came to 50. The illusion holds in the exchange. And I say the pollution holds in the exchange. For the moon is never but a month old. And with that I say, 'twas a frigate that the princess killed. Sir Nathaniel, will you hear an extemporal epitaph on the death of the deer, and to humor the ignorant, call I the deer the princess killed a frigate? Perge, good master Holofernes, perge, so it shall please you to abrogate scurrility. I will something affect the letter, for it argues facility. The playful princess pierced and pricked a pretty pleasing cricket. A rare talent! Woo! Talent be the claw. Look how he claws him with a talent. This is a gift that I have. Simple. A foolish, extravagant spirit full of forms, figures, shapes, objects, ideas, delivered upon the mellowing of occasion, and I am thankful for it. Sir, I praise the Lord for you, and so may my parishioners, for their sons are well tutored by you, and their daughters profit very greatly under you. You are a good member of their commonwealth. Miracle, if their sons be ingenuous, they shall want no instruction. If their daughters be capable, I will put it to them. But vir sapit pipaca lucitor, so feminine salutibus.
Good Master Parson, be so good as read me this letter. It was given me by Costard and sent from Don Armado. I beseech you read it.
Fauste precordelina quando picus omne summa ruminat. And so forth. Under pardon, sir, what are the contents? Aye, sir, and very learned. Let me hear a staff, a stanza, a verse. Lege, domine. If love make me forsworn, how shall I swear to love? Ah, never faith could hold if not to beauty vowed. Though to myself forsworn, to thee all faithful prove. Those thoughts to me were oaks, to thee like osiers bowed. All ignorant that soul that sees thee without wonder, which is to me some praise that I thy parts admire. Thy eye Jove's lightning bears, thy voice is dreadful thunder, which not to anger bent is music and sweet fire. Celestial as thou art, oh, pardon love this wrong that sings heaven's praise with such an earthly tongue. You find not the apostrophes, and so miss the accent. Let me supervise the canzonet. Here are only numbers ratified, but for the elegancy, facility, and golden cadence of poesy, get it. But, Damosel Virgin, was this directed to you?
I, sir, from one Monsieur Baron, one of the strange Queen's lords.
I will overglance the superscript. To the snow-white hand of the most beauteous Lady Rosaline? I will look again on the intellect of the letter for the nomination of the party writing to the person written unto. Your ladyships in all desired employment, Baron? Sir Nathaniel, this Baron is one of the votaries with the king. And here he hath framed a letter to a sequent of the stranger queens, which accidentally, or by the way of progression, hath miscarried. Trip and go, my sweet, deliver this paper into the royal hand of the king. It may concern much. Stay not thy compliment, I forgive thy
you.
Good Costard, go with me. Sir, God save your life.
Have with thee, my girl.
The king, he is hunting the deer. I'm coursing myself. They have pitched a toil. I am toiling in a pitch. Pitch that defiles. Defile, a foul word. By the Lord, this love is as mad as Ajax. It kills sheep. It kills me. I a sheep. I will not love. If I do, hang me. In faith, I will not. Oh, but her eye. By this light, but for her eye, I would not love her. Yes, for her 2 eyes. Well, I do nothing in the world but lie, and lie in my throat. By heaven, I do love, and it hath taught me to rhyme and to be melancholy. And here is part of my rhyme, and here my melancholy. Well, she hath one of my sonnets already. The clown bore it, the fool sent it, and the lady hath it. Sweet clown, sweeter fool, sweetest lady. By the world, I would not care a pin if the other 2 were in. Here comes one, with the paper. God give him grace to groan.
Ay me.
Shut by heaven! Proceed, sweet Cupid. Thou hast thumped him with thy bird bolt under the left pap. In faith, secrets.
So sweet a kiss the golden sun gives not to those fresh morning drops upon the rose, as eye beams when their fresh rays have smote the night of dew that on my cheeks down flows. Nor shines the silver moon one half so bright through the transparent bosom of the deep, as doth thy face through tears of mine give light. Thou shinest in every tear that I do weep. But do not love thyself, then thou keep my tears for glasses, and still make me weep. O Queen of Queens, how far dost thou excel? No thought can think, nor tongue of mortal tell. How shall she know my griefs? I'll drop the paper. Sweet leaves shake folly. Who is he comes here? What? Longaville? Reading? Listen, ear.
Now in thy likeness, one more fool appear.
I mean, I'm forsworn.
Why, he comes in like a perjure, wearing papers.
In love, I hope, sweet fellowship and shame.
One drunkard loves another of the name.
Am I the first that have been perjured so?
I could put thee in comfort, not by two that I know. Thou makest the triumvirate.
O most divine Maria,
O most profane coxcomb!
by heaven, a wonder in the mortal eye.
By earth, she is not corporal, there you lie.
I fear these stubborn lines lack power to move. O sweetest Maria, empress of my love, these numbers will I tear and write in prose.
Oh, rhymes are guards on wanton Cupid's hose. Disfigure not his slop.
This same shall go. Did not the heavenly rhetoric of thine eye, gainst whom the world cannot hold argument, persuade my heart to this false perjury? Vows for thee broke deserve not punishment. A woman I forswore, but I will prove, thou being a goddess, I forswore not thee. My vow was earthly, thou a heavenly love. Thy grace be gained cures all disgrace in me. Vows are but breath, and breath a vapor is. Then thou, fair sun, which on my earth doth shine, exhalest this vapor vow, and thee it is. If broken, it is no fault of mine. If by me broke, what fool's not so wise to lose an oath, to win a paradise? By whom shall I send this?
All hid in old infant play. Like a demigod here sit I in the sky, and wretched fool's secrets heedfully o'er I.
Come, sir, you blush. You do not love Maria. Long ago did never sonnet for her sake compile. I have been closely shrouded in this bush, and marked you, for you did blush. I heard your guilty rhymes, observed your fashion, saw sad grief from you. No, to bow your passion, you would for paradise break faith and troth. What will Barone say when that he shall hear faith so infringed which such zeal did swear? How he scorn, how he spend his wit, how he triumph, leap and laugh at it. For all the wealth that ever I did see, I would not have him know so much by me.
Now step I forth to whip hypocrisy. Ah! Good my liege, I pray thee, pardon me. Good heart, what grace hast thou, thus to reprove this worm for loving, that art most in love? Your eyes do make no coaches, in your tears there is no certain princess that appears. Ah! You'll not be perjured, 'tis a hateful thing. Tush! None but minstrels like of sonneting. But are you not ashamed? Nay, are you not the both of you to be thus much overshot? You found his moat, the king your moat did see, but I a beam do find in each of thee. Oh, what a scene of foolery have I seen, of sighs, of groans, of sorrow and of teen. Oh me, with what strict patience have I sat to see a king transformed to a gnat. My gentle Longaville, where lies thy pain? And where my lieges? All about the breast, a cobble.
Too bitter as I jest? Are we betrayed thus to thy overview?
Not you to me, but I betrayed by you. I that am honest. I that hold it sin to break the vow I am engaged in. I am betrayed by keeping company with men like men of inconstancy. When shall you see me write a thing in rhyme, or groan for love, or spend a minute's time in pruning me? When shall you hear that I will praise a hand, a foot, a face, an eye, a gait, a state, a brow, a breast, a waist, a leg, a limb?
Saw, whither away so fast? A true man, or a thief that gallops so?
I post from love, good lover, let me go.
God bless the king.
What present hast thou there?
Some certain treason.
What makes treason here?
Nay, it makes nothing, sir.
it more nothing, neither a treason and you go in peace away together.
I beseech your grace, let this letter be read. Our parson misdoubts it. 'Twas treason, he said.
Barone, read it over. Where hadst thou it?
Of Costard.
Where hadst thou it?
Of Don Artemadio? Don Artemadio?
Now, what's in you? Why dost thou tear it?
A toy, my liege, a toy. Your grace needs not fear it.
It did move him to passion, and therefore let's hear it. Aha! It is Baron's name. And here's his ring.
Are you, whoreson, loggerhead? You were born to do me shame. Guilty, my lord! Guilty! I confess!
What?
That you two fools left me, fool, to make up the mess. He, me, and you, my liege, and I. Our pick purses in love, and we deserve to die. Oh, dismiss this audience, and I shall tell you more. Will these turtles be gone?
Hence, sirs, away.
Walk aside the true folk and let the traitor stay.
Sweet lords, sweet lovers, oh, let us embrace. As true we are as flesh and blood can be, the sea will ebb and flow, heaven show his face. Young blood doth not obey an old decree. We cannot cross the cause why we were born. Therefore, of all hands must we be forsworn.
What, did these rent lines show some love of mine?
Did they, quoth you? Who sees the heavenly Rosaline, that like a rude and savage man of Indy, bows not his vassal head, and, stricken blind, kisses the base ground with obedient breast? What peremptory, eagle-sighted eye dares look upon the heaven of her brow that is not blinded by her majesty?
What zeal, what fury hath inspired thee now? My love, her mistress, is a gracious moon. She, an attending star, scarce seen a light.
My eyes are then no eyes, nor I Barone. Oh, but for my love, day would turn to night. Of all complexions the cold sovereignty do meet, as at a fair, in her fair cheek, where several worthies make one dignity, where nothing wants that want itself doth seek. Oh, 'tis the sun that maketh all things shine.
By heaven, thy love is black as ebony.
Is ebony like her? Oh, wood divine. A wife of such wood were felicity. Oh, who can give an oath? Where is a book that I may swear beauty doth beauty lack, if that she learn not of her eye to look? No face is fair that is not full so black.
Oh, paradox! Black is the badge of hell, the hue of dungeons and the suit of night, and beauty's crest becomes the heaven's well.
Devils soonest tempt, resembling spirits of light. Oh, if in black my lady's brows be decked, it mourns that painting and usurping hair should ravish doters with a false aspect, and therefore is she born to make black fair.
To look like her are chimney sweepers black, and since her time our colliers counted bright.
And Ethiops of their sweet complexion crack.
Your mistresses, dear, never come in rain, for
bid yours did, for sir, to tell you plain. I'll find a fair face not washed today.
I'll prove her fair, or talk till doomsday here.
No devil will fright me then as much as she. I never knew man hold vile stuff so dear.
Look, here's thy love, his foot and her face see.
Oh, if the streets were paved with thine eyes, her feet were much too dainty for such tread.
Oh, vile, then, as she goes, what upper lies the street should see as she walked overhead.
But what of this? Are we not all in love?
Nothing so sure, and thereby all forsworn.
Then, leave this chat. And good Barone, now prove our loving lawful, and our faith not torn.
I, Mary, there, some flattery for this evil owe, some authority I've had to proceed, some tricks, some quillets, had to cheat the devil.
Some salve for perjury.
'Tis more than need. Have at you then, affections, men at arms. Consider what you first did swear unto, to fast, to study, and to see no woman. Say, can you fast? Your stomachs are too young, and abstinence engenders maladies. And where the two have vowed to study, lords, in that each of you have forsworn his book, can you still dream and pore and thereon look without the beauty of a woman's face? From women's eyes this doctrine I derive. They are the ground, the books, the academes, from whence doth spring the true Promethean fire. Now, for not looking on a woman's face, you have in that forsworn the use of eyes. And study too the causer of your vow. For where is any author in the world teaches such beauty as a woman's eye? For when would you, my liege, or you, in leaden contemplation have found out such fiery numbers as the prompting eyes of beauty's tutors have enriched you with? It adds a precious seeing to the eye. Never durst poet touch a pen to write until his ink were tempered with love's sighs. From women's eyes this doctrine I derive, that show, contain, and nourish all the world. Then fools you were these women to forswear. Or keeping what is sworn, you will prove fools. For wisdom's sake, a word that all men love, or for love's sake, a word that loves all men, or for men's sake, the authors of these women, or women's sake, by whom we men are men. Let us once lose our oaths to find ourselves, or else we lose ourselves to keep our oaths.
St. Cupid then, and soldiers, to the field.
Advance your standards and upon them, lords.
Now to plain dealing. Ladies' gloves is fine. Shall we resolve to woo these girls of France?
Yeah! And win them too! Yeah! Therefore, let us devise some entertainment for them in their tents.
First, from the park, let us conduct them thither. Then, homeward, every man attach the hand of his fair mistress. Woo! In the afternoon, we will with some strange pastime solace them, such as the shortness of the time can shape. For revels, dances, masks, and merry hours forerun fair love, strewing her way with flowers.
I did converse this quondam day with a companion of the king's, who is intituled, nominated, or called Don Adriano de Armado.
Novi hominem tenquante. His humor is lofty, his discourse peremptory, his tongue filed, his eye ambitious, his gait majestical, and his general behavior vain, ridiculous, and thrasonical.
A most singular and choice epithet.
I abhor such fanatical fantasies as to speak doubt. Fine, when he should say doubter. Debt, when he should pronounce debitor. D-E-B-T, not D-E-T. This is abominable. Which he would call abominable. It insinuateth me of insane and intelligis domine to make frantic lunatic.
Laus Deo, bene intelligo.
Bon fort, Prussian, a little scratched. 'Twill serve.
Vites nequis venita?
Video et gaudio.
Tyranny!
Quale Cira, not Sira.
Men of peace, well encounter.
Most military, sir. Salutation.
They've been at a great feast of languages and stolen scraps.
Oh, they have lived long on the alms basket of words. I marvel thy master hath not eaten thee for a word, for thou art not so long by the head as honorific ability in a tatabis. Thou art easier swallowed than a flat dragon.
Peace, the peal begins.
Monsieur, are you not literate?
Yes, he teaches boys the hornbucks.
Now, by the salt wave of the Mediterranean, it rejoiceth my intellect through wit.
Offered by a child to an old man, which is when old.
Thou disputest like an infant. Go, whip thy gig.
Horsemen, preambulate. We will be singled from the barbarous. Do you not educate youth at the charge house on top of the mountain?
Armand, the hill.
Montaigne, and your sweet pleasure for the mountain.
I do. Sans question.
Sir, it is the king's most sweet affection and pleasure to congratulate the princess at her pavilion in the posterior this day, which the rude multitude call the afternoon.
The posterior of the day, most generous sir, is liable, congruent, and measurable for the afternoon. The word is well called, chose, sweet, and apt. I do assure you, sir, I do assure.
Sir, the king is a noble gentleman, and my familiar, I do assure you, very good friend. I must tell thee, it will please his grace by the world sometime to lean upon my poor shoulder, and with his royal finger thus dally with my excrement. With my mustachio. By the world, the very all of all is. What, sweethearts, do more secrecy. that the king would have me present the princess, sweet Chuck, with some delightful ostentation, or show, or pageant, or antique, or firework. Now, understanding that the curate and your sweet self are good at such eruptions and sudden breaking out of mirth, as it were, I have acquainted you with all to the end to crave your assistance.
Sir, as concerning some entertainment of time, you shall present before her the 9 worthies. Where will you find men worthy enough to present them? Joshua, yourself. Myself, and this gallant gentleman, Judas Maccabeus. This way, because of his great limb or joint, shall pass Pompey the Great. The page, Hercules.
Pardon, sir. Errol. He is not quantity enough for that worthy's thumb. He is not so big as the end of his club.
Shall I have audience? He shall present Hercules in minority. His enter and exit shall be strangling a snake, and I will have an apology for that purpose.
An excellent device. So if any of the audience hiss, you may cry, "Well done, Hercules! Now thou crushest the snake." That is the way to make an offense gracious. If you have the grace to do it.
For the rest of the worthies,
I will play 3 myself.
Worthy gentlemen.
shall I tell you a thing?
We attend.
You shall have, if this fudge not, an antic. I beseech you follow.
Via Goodman Dull, thou hast spoken no word all this while.
Nor understood none neither, sir.
Alonso, you will employ me.
I'll make one in a dance or so, or I will play on the tabor to the worthies and let them dance the hay.
Most dull, honest, dull. Tour sport, away!
Anything like? Much in the letters, nothing in the praise.
This and these pearls to me sent long ago. The letter is too long by half a mile.
I think no less. Dost thou not wish in heart the chain were longer and the letter short?
Aye, or I with these hands might never part.
We are wise girls to mock our lovers so. They are worse fools to purchase mocking so. That same Baron, all torture. Ere I go, none are so surely caught when they are catched, as wit turns fool, folly in wisdom hatched.
Folly and fool spares not so strong a note as foolery in the wise when wit doth dote.
Here comes Boyette, and mirth is in his face.
Oh, I am stabbed with laughter.
Little Grace, thy news, Boyette?
Prepare, madam, prepare. Arm, wenches, arm. Encounters mounted are against your peace. Love doth approach disguised. Armed in arguments you'll be surprised. Muster your wits, stand in your own defense, or hide your head like cowards and fly hence.
Saint Dennis to Saint Cupid, what are they that charge their breath against us? Say, scout, say.
Under the cool shade of the sycamore, I thought to close mine eyes some half an hour, when lo, to interrupt my purposed rest, toward that shade I might behold addressed, the king and his companions, warily, I stole into a neighbor the gift by, and overheard what you shall overhear, that by and by, disguised they will be here, their apparel's a pretty knavish page that well by heart have conned his embassage. Action and accent did they teach him there. Thus was thou speakest, thus I body bear. With that I laughed and clapped him on the shoulder, making the bold wag by their praises bolder. With that they all did tumble on the ground, with such a zealous laughter so profound, that in this spleen ridiculous appear to check their bloody passion's solemn tears.
But what, come they to visit us?
They do, and are heralded thus, like Muscovites or Russians, as I guess. Their purpose is to parle, to court, and dance. And everyone his love feet will advance unto his several mistress, which they'll know by favor several which they did bestow.
And will they so? The gallants shall be tasked. For ladies, we shall everyone be masked. And not a man of them shall have the grace, despite of suit, to see a lady's face. Hold, Rosaline, this favor thou shalt wear, and then the king will court thee for his dear. Hold, take thou this, my sweet, and give me thine. So shall Longaville take me for Maria. Come on, then. Wear the favors most in sight.
But in this changing, what is your intent?
The effect of my intent is to cross theirs. They do it but in mocking merriment, and mock for mock is only my intent. Their several counsels they embosom shall to loves mistook, and so be mocked withal upon the next occasion that we meet, with visages displayed to talk and greet.
But shall we dance if they desire to it?
No, to the death we will not move a foot, nor to their pen speech render we no grace. But while 'tis spoke, each turn away her face.
Why, that contempt will kill the speaker's heart, and quite divorce his memory from his part.
Therefore I do it, and I make no doubt. The rest will ne'er come in if he be out. There's no such sport as sport by sport o'erthrown to make theirs ours, and ours none but our own. So shall we stay, mocking intended game, and they, well mocked, depart away with shame.
The trumpet sounds, the maskers come.
All hail the richest beauties on the earth,
Beauties no richer than rich Tabitha.
a holy parcel of the fairest dames, that ever turns their backs to mortal views.
Their eyes, villains, their eyes.
That ever turns their eyes to mortal views. Out
True, out indeed.
want to behold.
Once to behold, rogue.
Once to behold. Was there sun beaming eyes? There sun beaming eyes?
They will not answer to that epithet. You best call it the daughter of beaming eyes.
They do not mark me, and that brings me out.
Is this your perfectness? Begone, you rogue.
What would these strangers know their minds? Well, yet, if they do speak our language, 'tis our will that some plain man who count their purposes know what they would.
What would you and the princess?
Nothing but peace and gentle visitation.
What would they say
Nothing but peace and gentle visitation.
Why, that they have, and bid them so be gone.
She says you have it, and you may be gone.
Say to her, we have measured many miles to try to measure with her on this, how you say, grass.
Yeah.
They say that they have measured many a mile to try to measure with you on this grass.
It is not so. Ask them how many inches is in 1 mile. If they have measured many, the measure then of one is easily told.
If to come hither you have measured miles and many miles, the princess bids you tell how many inches thou fill up 1 mile.
Tell her we measure them by weary steps.
She hears herself.
How many weary steps of many weary miles who are numbered in the travel of 1 mile.
We number nothing that we spend for you. Our duty is so rich, so infinite, that we may do it still without account. Vouchsafe to show the sunshine of your face, that we, like savages, may worship it.
My face is but a moon, and clouded too.
Blessed are clouds to do such as clouds do. Vouchsafe, bright moon, and these thy stars to shine. Those clouds removed upon our watery eye.
Oh, vain petitioner, beg a greater matter. Thou now request but moonshine in the water.
Then in our measure, vouchsafe one change. Thou biddest me beg. This begging is not strange.
No.
Play music then. Nay, you must do it soon. Not yet. No dance. Thus change I like the moon.
You do not dance, so come you less estranged.
You took the moon at full, but now she's changed.
Yet still she is the moon, and I, the man. Music plays, and vouchsafe some motion to it.
Our ears vouchsafe it.
Ah, but your legs should do it. Yeah.
Since you are strangers and come here by chance, we will not be nice. Take hands. We will not dance.
Why take we hands then?
Only to part friends. Courtesy, sweethearts, and so the measure ends.
Or measure of this measure, be not nice.
We can afford no more at such a price.
Prize we yourselves. What buys your company?
Your absence only.
That can never be.
No.
They can only be bought and
so I do twice to your visor, and a half once to you.
If you deny to dance, let's hold more chat.
In private then.
I am best pleased with that.
My candid mistress, one sweet word with thee.
Honey and milk and sugar. There is 3.
Nay then, to trace if you grow so nice. Metheglin, wort, and Monsey. Well run, guys. There's half a dozen sweets.
7 sweet adieu. Since you can cock, I'll play no more with you.
One worded secret.
Let it not be sweet.
Thou grievest my gall.
Gall? Bitter.
Therefore means.
What, was your visor made without a tongue? I know the reason, lady. Why you ask?
Oh, for your reason. Quickly, sir, I long.
You have a double tongue within your mask, and would afford my speechless visor. How?
Veal, quoth the Dutchman. Is not veal a calf?
A calf, fair lady?
No, a fair lord, calf.
Let's part the word.
No, I'll not be your half. Take all, admit it. It may prove an ox.
Look how you butt yourself in these sharp marks. Will you give horns, chaste lady? Do not so.
Then die a calf before your horns to grow.
One word in private with you ere I die.
Lead softly then, the butcher hears you cry. The tongues of mocking wenches are as keen as is the razor's edge invisible, cutting a smaller hair than may be seen, fleeter than arrows, bullets, wind, thought, swifter things.
Now one word more, my maids, break off, break off.
By heaven, I'll try beaten with pure scoff.
Farewell, my wenches, you have simple wits.
20 adieus, my frozen Muscovites. Are these the breed of wits? So wondered at. Tapers they are with your sweet breaths puffed out.
Well-liking wits they have. Gross, gross, fat, fat.
Oh, poverty in wit, kingly poor flout. Will they not think you hang themselves tonight? Or ever but in visor show their faces? This Longueville was out of countenance quite.
Oh, they were all in lamentable cases. The king was weeping right for a good word.
Longueville did swear himself out of all suit.
Verone was at my service, and his sword. No point, quoth I, my servant straight with me.
But will you hear? The king is my love's swan.
And Longueville hath plighted faith to me.
Verone is mine, as sure as bark on tree.
Madam and pretty mistresses, give ear. Immediately they will again be here in their own shapes. For it can never be they will digest this harsh indignity. Will they return? They will. Therefore change favors, and when their pair feel like sweet roses in this summer air. What shall we do if they return in their own shapes to woo?
Good madam, if by me you'll be advised, let us mock them still, as well known as disguised. Let us complain to them what fools were here, disguised like Muscovites in shapeless gear.
Ladies would draw the gallants returns. Whip to our tents as rose run o'er land.
Fair sir, God save you. Where's the princess?
Gone to her tent. Please it your majesty command me any service to her thither.
Had she vouchsafed me audience or one word?
I will end. So will she, I know my lord.
This gallant pins the wenches on his sleeve. Had he been Adam, he had tempted Eve. Meant him who can, the ladies call him sweet. The stairs, as he treads on them, kiss his feet. And consciences that will not die in debt, pay him the due of honey-tongued boyette.
A blister on his sweet tongue with my heart that put Armando's page out of his part.
See where it comes?
behavior, what wert thou till this madman showed thee, and what art thou now?
All hail, sweet madam. Fair time of day.
Fair in all hail is foul as I conceive.
And strew my speech is better, Kimber.
Then wish me better, I will give you leave.
We came to visit you. Purpose now to lead you to report. Are safe with them.
This field shall hold me, and so hold your vow. Nor God nor I delights in perjured men.
Rebuke me not for that which you provoke. The virtue of your eyes break my oath.
You nickname virtue. Vice you should have spoke, for virtue's office never breaks men's troth. Now by my maiden honor, yet as pure as the unsullied lily, I protest. A world of torments though I should endure, I would not yield to be your house's guest. So much I hate a breaking cause to be, of heavenly oaths vowed with integrity.
Oh, you have lived in desolation here. Unseen, unvisited, much to our shame.
Not so, my lord, it is not so, I swear. We have had pastimes here, and pleasant games. A mess of Russians left us but of late.
How, madam? Russians?
Aye, in truth, my lord. Trim gallants full of courtship and of state.
Madam, speak true. It is not so, my lord. My lady, in the manner of the days, in courtesy, gives undeserving praise. We three indeed confronted wherewith the in Russian habit, and here they stayed an hour and talked apace. And in that hour, my lord, they did not bless us with one happy word. I dare not call them fools, but this I think, when thirsty, fools would fain have drink.
This jest is dry to me, that to your huge store wise things seem foolish, and rich things but poor.
This proves you wise and rich, for in my eyes
I am a fool and full of poverty.
but that you take what doth to you belong. It were a fault to snatch words from my tongue.
Oh, I am yours and all that I possess.
All the fool mine.
I cannot give you less.
Which of the visors was it that you wore?
Where, when, what visor? Why demand you this?
There, then, that visor, that superfluous case that hid the worst and showed the better face.
We are described. The lock is now downright.
Let us confess and turn it to jest.
Amazed, my lord, why looks your highness sad?
Help! Hold his brows! He'll swoon! Why look you pale? Seasick, I think, coming from Muscovy.
Thus pour the stars down plagues for perjury. Can any face of brass hold longer out? Here stand I, lady. Dart thy skill at me. Bruise me with scorn. Confound me with the flouts. Thrust thy sharp wit quite through my ignorance. Cut me to pieces with thy keen conceit, and I will wish thee nevermore to dance, nor nevermore in Russian habit wait. I do forswear them, and I here protest by this white glove, how white the hand God knows. Henceforth my wooing mind shall be expressed with russet gaze and honest kersey nose. And to begin, wench, so God help me love, my love to thee is sound, sans crack or flaw.
Sans, I pray you.
Yet I have a trick of the old rage.
Bear with me! I am sick!
I'll leave it by degree. Speak for yourselves. My wit is at an end.
Teach us, sweet madam, for our rude transgression, some fair excuse.
The fairest is confession. Were not you here but even now disguised?
Madam, I was.
And were you well advised?
I was, sure, madam.
When you then were here, what did you whisper in your lady's ear?
More than all the world I did respect her.
When she shall challenge this, you will reject her.
Upon mine honor, no.
Peace, peace, forbear. Your oath once broke, you force not to forswear.
Despise me when I break this oath of mine?
I will, and therefore keep it. Rosaline, what did the Russian whisper in your ear?
Madam, he swore that he did hold me as dear as precious eyesight, and did value me above this world. Adding thereto, moreover, he would wed me, or else die my lover.
God give thee joy of him. The noble lord most honorably doth unhold his word.
What mean you, madam? By my life, my troth, I never swore this lady such an oath.
By heaven you did, and to confirm it plain, you gave me this. But take it, sir, again.
My faith in this, the princess I did give. I knew her by this jewel on her breast.
Pardon me, sir. This jewel did she wear? And long will I thank him is my dear. What will you have me or your pearl again?
Neither of either. I remit both twain.
Aha! I see the trick on it. Here was a consent, knowing aforehand of our merriment, to dash it like a Christmas comedy. Some carry tale, some please man, some slight zany, some mumble news, some trencher night, some dick that smiles his cheek in ears and knows the trick to make my lady laugh when she is disposed, told our intents before, which, once disclosed, the ladies did change favors. And then we, following the signs, wooed but the sign of she. Now to our perjury, to add more terror, we are again forsworn in will and error. Much upon this it is. And might not you forestall our sport to make us thus untrue? Do not you know my lady's foot by the squire, and laugh upon the apple of her eye, and stand between her back, sir, and the fire, holding a trencher, jesting merrily? You put our page out! Go! You are allowed! Die when you will! A smock shall be your shroud! You leer upon me, do you? There's an eye wounds like a leaden sword.
Full marry hath this brave managed. This career been around. Lo, he is tilting straight!
Peace. I have done. Welcome, pure wit. Thou partest a fair fray.
Oh Lord, sir, they would know whether the prewworthy shall come in or not.
What? Are there but 3?
No, sir, but it is very fine. For everyone presents 3.
And 3 times thrice is 9.
Not so, sir. Under correction, sir. I hope it is not so. You cannot make us, sir, I can assure you. Sir, we know what we know. I hope, sir, 3 times thrice, sir.
Is not 9?
Under correction, sir, we know where to doth amount.
By Jove, I always took 3 threes for 9.
Oh, Lord, sir, it were a pity you should get your living by reckoning, sir.
How much is it?
Oh, Lord, sir, the parties themselves. The actors, sir, will show where until it doth amount. For mine own part, I am, as they say, but a perfect one man in one poor man. Pompion the Great, sir.
Art thou one of the worthies?
It pleased them to think me worthy of Pompion the Great. For mine own part, I know not the degree of the worthy, but I understand for him.
Go, bid them prepare.
We will turn it kindly off, sir. We will take some care.
For Rome, they will shame us, let them not approach.
We are shame-proof, my lord. And 'tis some policy to have one show worse than the king's and his company.
I say they shall not come.
Nay, my good lord, let me o'errule you now. That sport best pleases that doth least know how, where zeal strives to content, and the contents dies in the zeal of that which it presents.
A right description of our sport, my lord.
Anointed! I implore so much expense of thy royal sweet breath as will utter graceful words.
Doth this man serve God? Why ask you?
He speaks not like a man of God's making.
His Majesty has requested you read this, my fair, sweet honey monarch of France.
Here is like to be a good presence of worthies. Our motto presents Hector of Troy. The swain Pompey the Great. The parish curate Alexander. Our motto's page Hercules. The pedant Judas Maccabeus. And if these 4 worthies in their first show thrive, these 4 will change habits and present the other 5.
There is 5 in the first show?
You are deceived. 'Tis not so.
The pedant, the braggart, the hedge priest, the fool, and the boy. Abate through a novum, and the whole world again cannot pick out 5 such. Take each one in his vein.
The ship is under sail, and here she comes amain.
I, Pompey, am.
You lie, you and not he.
I, Pompey, am.
With liberted on me.
Well said, old mocker. I must needs be friends with thee.
I, Pompey, am. Pompey, surnamed Lamig.
The Great?
It is great, sir. Pompey, surnamed the Great, that often filled with targe and shield did make my foe sweat. And traveling along this coast, I hear him come by chance, and lay my arms before the legs of this sweet lass of France. If your ladyship would say, thanks, Pompey, I'd done.
Great, thanks, great. Pompey.
'Tis not so much work, but I hope I was perfect. I feel the Fulton great.
My hat to a halfpenny. Pompey proves the best worthy.
was the world's commander. By east, west, north, and south I spread my conquering might. My scutcheon plain declares that I am Alexander.
Your nose says no, you are not, for it stands to ride.
Your nose smells no in this most tender smelling night.
The conqueror is dismayed. Proceed, good Alexander.
When in the world I lived, I was the world's commander.
Most true, 'tis right, you were so, Alexander.
Pompey the Great!
Your servant and costard.
Take away the conqueror. Take away Alexander.
Oh, sir, you have overthrown Alexander the Conqueror. You will be scraped out of the painted cloth for this. Your lion that holds his poleaxe, sitting on a closed stool, will be given to Ajax. He will be the knight worthy. A conqueror and a fear to speak. Run away for shame, Alexander. There, and shall please you, a foolish, mild man, an honest man, look you, and soon dashed. But for Alexander, alas, you see how it is. A little overparted. But there are words are coming who will speak their mind in some other sort.
Great Hercules is presented by this imp, whose club killed Cerberus, that three-headed Canis, and when he was a babe, a child, a shrimp. Thus did he strangle serpents in his manus. Quaniam he seemeth in minority, ergo I come with this apology. Keep some state in thy exit vanish. Judas I am!
A Judas!
Not Iscariot, sir. Judas I am, Eclepit Maccabeus.
Judas Maccabeus clipped is plain Judas.
A kissing traitor! How art thou proved, Judas?
Judas I
The
am!
more shame for you, Judas.
What mean you, sir?
To make Judas hang himself.
Begin, sir. You are my elder.
Well followed. Judas was hanged on an altar.
I will not be put out of countenance.
Because thou hast no face.
What is this?
A citronette,
The head of a bodkin?
a death's face in a ring.
The face of an old Roman coin, scarce seen.
The pommel of Caesar's falchion. Aye, and worn in the cap of a toothed dwarf. And now forward, for we have put thee in countenance.
You have put me out of countenance.
False. We have given thee faces.
But you have outfaced them all.
And thou were a lion, we would do so.
Therefore, as he is an ass, let him go. And so this we do. Nay, why dost thou stay? For the latter end of his name.
For the ass to the Jude, give it him. Jude ass, away!
This is not
Alas, poor Maccabeus, how hath he been fated? High thy head, Achilles, here comes Hector in arms.
Hector was but a Trojan in respect of this.
What is this, Hector?
Hector was not so clean-timbered. His leg is too big for Hector's.
More calf certain. No, he is best endued in the small.
This cannot be Hector.
He's a god, or a painter, for he makes faces.
The omnipotent Mars of lances, the Almighty, give Hector a gift.
A lemon.
Stuck with cloves.
No, cloven.
Peace! The omnipotent Mars of lances, the Almighty, give Hector a gift. The heir of Ilion, a man so breed that certain he would fight, gave from morn till night out of his pavilion. I am that flower.
That mint.
That Columbine.
Sweet Lord Lauderdale, rein thy tongue!
I must rather give it the rein, for it runs against Hector.
I and Hector's a greyhound.
The sweet warman is dead and rotten, sweet chucks. Beat not the bones of the buried. When he breathed, he was a man. But I'll forward with mine advice. Sweet royalty, bestow upon me a sense of hearing.
Speak, brave Hector, we are much delighted.
I do adore thy sweet grace's slipper.
Loves her by the foot.
He may not by the yard.
This Hector far surmounted Hannibal.
The party is gone, fellow Hector. She is gone. She's 2 months on her way.
What meanest thou?
Fate, unless you play the honest Trojan, the poor wench is cast away. She's quick. The child rides in her belly already. 'Tis yours.
Dost thou infaminize me among potentates? Thou shalt die.
Then shall Hector be whipped for jackanapes that is quick by him, and hanged for Pompey that is dead by him.
Most rare Pompey.
Reowned Pompey!
Greater than great, 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 great Pompey. Pompey the huge.
Hector trembles.
Pompey is moved. More eights, stir them on, stir them on.
Hector will challenge him.
Aye, if he has no man's blood in his belly, then we'll sup the flea.
By the North Pole I do challenge thee.
I'll not fight with a pole like a northern man. I'll slash! I'll do it by the sword. I pray you, let me borrow my arms again.
Room for the incensed worthies.
I'll do it in my shirt!
Most resolute Pompey!
Master, let me take you a little lower. Do you not see Pompey is uncasing for combat? What mean you? You will lose your reputation.
Gentlemen and soldiers, pardon me. I will not combat in my shirt.
You may not deny it. Pompey hath made the challenge.
Sweet bloods, I both may and will.
What reason have you for it?
The naked truth of it is, I have no shirt. A woolard for penance.
True, and it was enjoyed in him in Rome for want of linen. Since when, I'll be sworn, he wore none but a dishclout of jaconettes, and that wears next his heart for a favor.
God save you, madam.
Welcome, Marcadet, but that thou interrupts our merriment.
I am sorry, madam, for the news I bring is heavy in my tongue. The king, your father,
Dead for my life.
even so, my tale is told.
Worthies, away! The scene begins to cloud.
How fares your majesty?
For yet, prepare. I will away tonight.
Madam, not so. I do beseech you, stay.
Prepare, I say. I thank you, gracious lords, for all your fair endeavors, and entreat out of a new, sad soul that you vouchsafe in your rich wisdom to excuse or hide the liberal opposition of our spirits. If over boldly we have borne ourselves in the converse of breath, your gentleness was guilty of it. Farewell, worthy lord. A heavy heart bears not a nimble tongue. Excuse me so, coming too short of thanks for my great suit so easily obtained.
In extreme parts of time, extremely forms all causes to the purpose of his speed. And though the morning brow of progeny forbids the smiling courtesy of love, let not the cloud of sorrow dress look from what I purpose, since to wail friends lost is not by much so wholesome profitable as to rejoice of friends but newly found.
I understand you not. My griefs are double.
Honest, plain words best pierce the ear of grief, and by these badges understand the king. For your fair sakes have we neglected time, played foul play with our oaths. Your beauty, ladies, have much deformed us, fashioning our humors even to the opposed end of our intents. And what in us hath seemed ridiculous, as love is full of unbefitting strains, which party-coated presents of loose love put on by us, if in your heavenly eyes have misbecomed our oaths and gravities, those heavenly eyes that look into these faults suggested us to make. Therefore, ladies, our love being yours, the error that love makes is likewise yours. We to ourselves prove false by being once false forever to be true to those that make us both, fair ladies, you. Even that falsehood, in itself a sin, thus purifies itself and turns to grace.
We have received your letters full of love, your favors the ambassadors of love, and in our maiden council rated them at courtship, pleasant jest, and courtesy. But more devout than this in all respects have we not been, and therefore met your loves in their own fashion, like a merriment.
Our letters, madam, showed much more than jest, so did our looks. We did not hold them so.
Now, at the latest minute of the hour, grant us your loves.
A time, methinks, too short to make a world without end bargain in. No, no, my lord. Your grace is perjured much, full of dear guiltiness. And therefore this, if for my love, as there is no such cause, you will do aught, this shall you do for me. Your oath I will not trust, but go with speed to some forlorn and naked hermitage, remote from all the pleasures of the world. There stay until the 12 celestial signs have brought about the annual reckoning. If this austere, insociable life change not your offer made in heat of blood, then, at the expiration of the year, come challenge me. Challenge me by these deserts, and by this virgin palm, now kissing thine, I will be thine. Until that instant, shut my woeful self up in a mourning house, raining the tears of lamentation for the remembrance of my father's death. If this thou do deny, let our hands part, neither entitled in the other's heart.
If this, or more than this, I would deny, to flatter up these powers of mine with the rest, the sudden hand of death close up mine eye, and sever them. My heart is in thy breast.
What says Mariah? At the 12th month's end, I'll change my black gown for a faithful friend.
I will stay with patience, but the time is long.
The like are you, few taller are so young.
Studies, my lady, mistress, look on me. Behold the window of my heart, mine eye. What humble suit attends thy answer there? Impose some service on me for thy love.
Oft have I heard of you, my Lord Barone. Before I saw you, the world's large tongue proclaims you a man replete with monks, that lie within the mercy of your wit. And the resolve to win me, if you please, you shall, this 12-month term, from day to day, visit the speechless sick, and still converse with groaning wretches, and with the fierce endeavor of your wit, to force the pain potent, to smile.
To move wild laughter in the throat of death? It cannot be. It is impossible. Mirth cannot move a soul in agony.
Why, that's the way to choke a gibing spirit, whose influence is begot of that loose grace which shallow laughing ears give to fools. A jest prosperity lies in the ears of him that hears it, never in the tongue of him that makes it. Then, if sickly ears, deaf with the clamors of their own dear groans, will hear your idle scorns, continue then, and I will have you, and that fault of love. But if they will not, then throw away that spirit, and I shall find you empty that fault, right joyful for your reformation.
A 12-month?
Yeah.
Well, befall what will befall, I'll jest a 12-month in a hospital.
Aye, sweet my lord, and so I take my leave.
No, madam, we'll bring you on your way.
Our wooing doth not end like an old play. Jack hath not Jill. These ladies' courtesy might well have made our sport a comedy.
Sir, it wants a 12-month and a day, and then to Lent.
That's too long for a play.
Sweet Majesty, vouchsafe me.
Was not that Hector, the worthy knight of Troy?
I will kiss thy royal finger and take leave. I'm a votary. I vowed to Jaconetta to hold the plough for her sweet love 3 years. O most esteemed greatness, will you hear the dialogue that the two learned men have compiled in praise of the owl and the cuckoo? It should have followed at the end of our show.
Call them forth quickly. We will do so.
Hola! Approach! This side, Himes, winter. This side, there, the spring.
The one maintained by the owl,
The other by the cuckoo.
There, begin.
And ladies' songs of silver white.
hall. You, that way. We, this way.